Good heavens above. Another dilapidated wreck. This one is a DER. Well, that's what it says on the front. But it is in fact a Ferguson Video Star, JVC Video Star, ITT telerecorder, even seen them badged as Granada and Nokia. And rediffusion too, I think. Confusion? No, rediffusion. The problem here is that this one keeps cutting out as the take-up spool isn't winding the tape on. It does it for about 30 minutes and then it says, to hell with this, I've had enough of you, and cuts out. But thankfully, because this is so old, it is made to be repaired. Not like today's stuff. If you open up a modern VCR, you'll find that the motorboard inside is made of bean tins compared to this, and there's just one circuit board and that's it. This is very over-engineered. Still has a lovely picture now. It's better than the latest ones were at the end. It's madness. They call it progress. They do, my dears. That, I know what you're thinking. Yes, same as I am. Horse feathers. And getting this mechanism out is quite a to-do, because there's quite a lot to come out. But yes, there's a little tiny belt which I put round there so I won't lose it. That drives the counter. And then down here another screw. Oh dear, I must be mad doing this. You'd never want to do this with it live, because this little screw here that I'm taking out now, don't want to get that onto this circuit board, because if you do, pop and cork and mitt bloody fucking. Just get this magnetic so that it will pull it away. I know the purists will probably say, whoa, magnetic screwdriver near that, whoa, terrible. And that's that one. It comes out. It's all right, of course, if you know where all these things are. Now, should, with a following wind, be able to lift this out. Separate that from its clip. Come along, you know you want to. I don't. I've been in here 30 years. It's saying you're not disturbing me now. In that case, disconnect these. Trouble is, of course, it's quite a while, as you can well imagine, since I've done this. Because you don't exactly get too many Ferguson Video Stars of this vintage to do anymore. They're mostly, sadly, at the bottom of landfill tips, having been replaced by cheap and nasty rubbish. But you look underneath there, you can see how over-engineered this is. A favourite fault is this. This little motor drives the tape lacing arrangement, and this belt was notorious for getting slack. Drives onto this worm gear, and that used to pull the pins round and then clunk. And many times I've heard, oh, it'll nearly go, but it doesn't quite, then it gives up and it turns off, and it was always this belt going slack. So I've changed quite a few of those in my time. But this is the take-up belt, and as you can see, it's hopelessly slack. See, it's not even trying to go back to its shape immediately. It's nearly doing a Phillips. So I think we did well to get here just in time, shall I say. You don't want it doing a Phillips. The flat capstan belt doesn't look too brilliant, but I'm not sure I've got one of those. But quite an elaborate arrangement. And you can see motor there to do the loading. This motor spins the head. Motor there to do the capstan, which actually pulls the tape through. And then this one here does the rewind, fast forward and the picture search. So it's quite heavily engineered stuff. I suppose in the end it would have been professional quality, wouldn't it? But while the rest of us plebs had to put up with crap made in China. Well, again, they call it progress. I know what you're thinking. And it's not really sayable on YouTube. Now, if I can get this out, there we are. Ugh.
I've just noticed something in here which is a giveaway that this is actually a JVC. Probably can't see it on the video here, but on this motor here that does the fast forward and rewind, on the side there, and though you can't see it because the light's in the wrong place, it does say JVC.
Yep, it does. It says JVC.
So that is a big giveaway that...
it's a JVC video star.
Yes.
Whatever you want to call it. But they were very reliable, well-made machines. You used to see them all over the place. I actually watched the pilot for Midsummer Murders the other night on an old video, and tucked underneath Detective Barnaby's television set was an old Ferguson video star, similar to this. And that came out in 1996, I think, that series, so it would have been quite respectably aged then, but obviously it's still working. You used to be able to get these for a song, and it was good if you could get one from one of the TV rental firms, because it was all overhauled. That made it even better. So let's see what we've got by way of another belt for this, because apparently this is going to a new home. And Andrew Littleboy wants this, and who can blame him? He's probably got fed up with skipping DVDs. Yeah, they are hateful things, aren't they? I should imagine the first ones were okay, then the quality went... Oh dear. Yeah, we've got just a few belts here, there aren't really that many, you know. All pig's fuel and ready for flight. Oh dear, who said anything about police helicopters? Well, that one's likely. You want one that's a bit shorter, and you want one that won't stretch.
That's one thing modern machines, video recorders or cassette recorders come in hand for, and that's their belts.
They do, yes. Yes, the average crapper it has quite a few useful bits in it.
So even if it's not much good to use as it is, if you see something like that dumped or something is slung your way, don't bin it as it is.
Yes, don't throw it away, strip it for parts and then dump it if you must.
That's a trick that I do quite often. So.
Oh, yes, well, I think that one is the most likely. Trouble is, there are so many of them here. What about that one? That one? That one's a bit too small, I think. Yes, that one's a bit too small. So it's a toss-up between that one is slightly. That one's got a slightly bigger section. So I think as it is such a pig to replace them on these, we'll use the bigger one, because then it won't be so likely to go kafut. Kafut mit bloody fucking, as they never said in Germany. Now this one is very, very slack, but I don't know if this is a flat belt. For some reason, you get them on eBay, they always cost a bomb compared to the ordinary square section ones. And I don't know why that is, but somebody's obviously making a mint, but it isn't you and it isn't me. Have we got anything that'll... is there anything among all the crap that might do? No, I think that's... don't know much, Ginny. No, that's about the same. What's the betting that came out of another one? Oh dear, another flat belt, Vicar. Turntable belt. That one's too small, that one's really for a cassette. Ah yes, that one might be the one.
The main reason for belts going slack is usually because of the lack of use of these things. This machine's been sat in the back of a garage for about 20 years or so, and obviously the belt hasn't moved in all that time to power anything up, so they sort of get stretched in one shape. And as you can see looking at this one here, even though we've just taken it out of the machine, it is actually slightly warped. It's more of a pear shape than a round shape.
It's still better than most modern kit, because that goes pear shaped quite often.
Yes.
Oh dear, yes, I know. Don't give up the day job. You know, keep fixing videos. Don't put in for the comedian job. I haven't done this in, well, ever. There we are. That's it. Now is that? Can I see with my myopic lenses? Yes, that's right. That's nice and square. Yes, that's what we like to see. Now, there isn't really any elegant way to do this, I'm afraid. Well, the question is, oh, that's where he went. Don't want to leave any loose parts in here. Otherwise, is possible, schnappen die Springenwerk, flickeren Pitcher, Poppenkorken mit Spitzensparken und schocken so mit bloody fucking Schitzen. Oh dear.
In some ways it's quite amazing we managed to watch the whole video of Brast Off last week without any problems, although towards the end of the tape it did start mucking about, which was the giveaway that the belts inside might be a wee bit slack, and as you can tell, yes, they had just started to go, so
my guess is that JVC probably made more than likely millions of these for around the world. They certainly made one for America, which makes you wonder, doesn't it? That's that one. And there's your yellow one. Right. It would appear that nothing is connected to that. Or is it? There must be something connected to it. Yes, there you are. You little swine. Yes, come out, where you are. That's it. There we go. We want this to work. The only disadvantage of all this lot is that it weighs a ton when fully assembled. But on the other hand, who cares? It keeps working.
and they weren't really built to be portable anyway, because they were usually slung underneath an old television set, and that would be it. So
yes, they used to sit underneath an old wooden television set. Time was when they used to employ French polishers to do the cabinets on those. My God, things have certainly changed now. You go down to the rubbish tip, you see stuff that's been dumped that's obviously still fairly new. And then the government say reduce, reuse, recycle. And you say to the bloke, oh, I could make use of that. And he says, oh, you can't have that, it's electric, you might get electricity fine. Health and safety, health and safety. Oh dear.
Unless you're slightly crafty like me and reverse the car up to the skip and casually just slip it inside the boot and pretend that you changed your mind about throwing something out. Not that I do that, of course. Yes.
The pigs feel they're ready to take off. Well, sometimes a little bullshit baffles brains. And it is amazing what you find on the dust, isn't it?
Hmm.
He goes down there like that. Now, this here tape counter belt is rather slack as well. So, have we got anything to do with that? Because we do rather want this thing to work. Oh yeah. Good heavens above. Yes, back in the day I used to do loads of these with the people at work and the neighbours and what have you. But they're quite a rare bird now. Alas, yeah, that one's going funny too. See, it doesn't regain its shape the way it should. So that too is on its way to doing a Phillips. Or an Norelco if you live in America. I know. And, oh dear, yes. Oh dear, to empty all these out again. Never mind. It doesn't matter, worse things happen at sea, as the captain of the Titanic said. Oh dear. Dip, 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 my blue ship, floating on the water like a cup and saucer, or as he said, shit, 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 my new ship, sinking in the water like it shouldn't ought. All in the best possible taste. Not. Ah, yes, that one might do, yes. You don't want to use too tight a belt, because if you do you'll strain the bearings, and broken bearings come under I'm good, but I'm not that good usually, unless it's certain kinds of boom boxes. Come on, you know you want to. You can of course pop the front panel off these things and have a look at it that way. It's not that bad a job to do. It does make fitting the belt for the counter a bit easier. When it comes to that, you can get access to some of the belts by taking all this off and swinging the circuit boards back, if I remember right. Oh yes, clips on there, clips on here, clips on there. Anybody who think I used to work for Radio Rentals? Oh yeah. And there's the front of the beast without the you see the LEDs, they're just starting to come in those days. This would have been made, I don't know, 82, 83, somewhere along there. And the counter is still mechanical, the same one they would have used on a reel-to-reel. Okay. I don't like that, no. No, that's too slack. No, we don't like that. No, we don't approve of that. What about that one? Yeah, it's certainly engineered to last. The only reason a lot of these disappeared was that they don't have the more modern SCART socket on the back. You can use them with a more modern telly though, so don't give up. There are other ways of connecting it. But Yeah, so don't throw it away unnecessarily. Now then, the question is, can I remember how to pop this back on? Should be able to. Take the bottom off and you can see for yourself the enormous circuit board which lurks under here. There it is. There's probably less circuitry inside your desktop computer than there is inside this thing. Very, very elaborate.
With these, anything mechanical that goes wrong, it's fine, but anything electrical,
Yes.
But thankfully, that's not the problem with this one, so...
They do seem pretty reliable. But,
which is more than we can say for your computer at the moment.
bloody junk, that thing is. I'm afraid the other one was no better. It refused to update. Whatever I did, it would not update. So I thought, no, we know where you're going. In Vilniuswagen, as they say in Holland. That's French for dust car, Vilniuswagen. Or is it David Cameron's car? Oh dear. Now then, what have we got here? Come on. No, you need to pop
That's
through
it.
there like that.
Nice reassuring clunk.
You don't need to go and screw yourself up for the viewers. Oh dear. It started out muggy today and now it's got worse. Now, yes, the dusty side will always be inside.
Yes. We'll pretend that we didn't see that.
Maybe we ought to.
With older video recorders, on top are two fairly large vents for the whole thing so that it doesn't overheat. But of course, over time, a certain amount of dust gets in there, and yes, at least you can't see it.
Dusty gizmos. You can't see it till it catches fire.
Hopefully not.
I know old tellies used to do that sometimes.
Not heard of many video recorders bursting into flame, but
Oh dear. Don't go giving George Finner ideas. Remember, this is a JVC. You see, it's shuttered there. It's just not nice. On that one. Funny how often you find that somebody's been in here before you, because not all the screws are here.
aren't they?
No.
Oh. Well, I've certainly not been in there. I wouldn't dare.
Yes. The video machine is nicht für mitten grabbing and finger poking. No device is possible. Schnappen the Springenberg, blowing fuse and popping cork and mit Spitz and sparking and loss of picture. Goes on there. Put as many of them back as I can. No no cheap and nasty switch mode power supplies in this. This thing's got a transformer that will make Dungeness look. There we are. You're not snapping back in there the way you should do. Let's have a little look. I never like it when things don't pop back the way they ought. Just means there'll be trouble later usually. I think with this thing half the problem is old age. No. Maybe it is bust. That's it. That's got it.
Very reassuring clunk.
Should have got in the first time. I don't know why it didn't. There we go. That one back on there. Right. Good heavens. Yeah, it all looks pretty clean in there, pretty nice in there.
Even the head looks nice and clean.
And you've got a carryover from the old musical box days here for the soft eject. The thing is geared down and spins this little fan. And the little fan spins and it regulates the speed, just like an old-fashioned wind-up musical box. A very quaint sort of redneck touch. Put the lead back on there, the bonding lead for it. Otherwise you'll presumably get funny sort of hums and all this sort of thing. Yes, when you watched in black and white, you'd often wonder, was your telly all right? When you watched in white and black, we would slide to the left and then we'd come back. The picture made you look very tall, then it made us look very small. Has the snow begun to fall, or is there a seagull on the aerial? When you watched in black and white, remember how we used to say goodnight, but in case you have forgot, we all finished up as a little white dot. You should find that that will now power up.
Right, I'm going to end this video here, and we'll be back once we've found whether this thing will work or not.
Excitement of part 2.
Bye for now.